Apparently it goes through the firewall directly into your legs and cuts them off. Everybody knows me as the Yugo guy. I mean, I kind of am. That's what people know me as. They see it in Doug's video and Freddie's video, Tavares's video. They see me on here with the stories. It's a Yugo. There's going to be stories with it. But I decided to daily drive it, and I had nothing but problems. Surprise. The first one is, this was before I got new tires on it. So I was with the same tires I bought it with, and I was flying down 400 as fast as this thing will go. I don't know how fast it was. The speedo doesn't work. All of a sudden, I just hear this plop, 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 plop. Apparently the tires have been retreaded at some point, which I don't know when they stopped doing that, but I know it's not a common practice today. They've been retreaded at some point, and the tread had just flown off of 2 tires. There's only 1 spare tire, and that's located directly on the engine bay, over the engine bay. They consider it part of the crumple zone, even though if you get in a front-end collision, apparently it goes through the firewall directly into your legs and cuts them off. That was the first real incident, and surprisingly, it has okay headroom. I'm 6'3", so I have okay headroom. It's really tight. I'm constantly sitting like that. I'm driving it. I was driving probably about 100 miles a day, so a pretty good commute. And I ended up carrying, having to install an auxiliary fuel pump because I was having a vapor lock issue. It would overheat. Shocker. So I had to put an extra fan, but I didn't have a toggle switch with me at the time, and I was so broke. I just took out a light switch out of the wall in my house and drilled it to the bottom, right left of the foot pedals, and I could toggle this fan on with a light switch, just straight out of the house. Just hot wired it directly to the battery, ran wire to it, and just ran it to the fan and grounded it. It's ghetto as anything. When I first got it, I had problems with the brakes. They're not good. Being a Yugo, nothing really is. So I would almost hit people a lot, and I didn't really drive manuals at that. I think that was the first manual car I ever had, actually. I didn't really use engine braking that much. That quickly taught me to use engine braking and that 4-speed transmission. Everywhere you go, people always have something to say. You'll be stuck in traffic. People will come up, "Hey man, is that a Yugo? Man, you know what they say? You don't go." And then they just die laughing. All the jokes, people would just holler out their window. Also, people would really like it. When I'd be sitting on the side of the road, they would love it. They would come up and, say they haven't seen one in years and how they just they had one when they were a kid or, in the late 80s when they came out, and they just absolutely loved it. I've told stories about how I would park it, at Caffeine and Octane, and people would just love it. I'd park it next to, supercars, and people would come to the Yugo more than they would go to the supercar. It has to be the cheapest car that's ever been in that, kind of advertiser's lot. Because I have maybe $1,500 in this total at this point, and it's so cheap, but it's universally known. I won't say loved. It's universally known by car guys. I'll just drive past, and then event organizers will, is that a Yugo? No, you're coming in here. You're coming in here. And people love the Yugo. I can't explain it. I've always loved them. Ever since I was a kid, but I think that's just because I'm an idiot. And I like the pain of owning terrible cars. I probably put about 3,000 miles on it that month, which in comparison, I've only put about 5,000 on it total in the 3 years I've owned it. That shows how bad to drive it actually is, because I never drive it. And right now it's sitting on my jack in my garage. I started a timing belt change on it because the timing belt stripped out. Just haven't worked on it about a year. It's been sitting in the same place for about a year. Every time I mention I bought a Yugo for $1,000 or $1,100, whatever it was, and then I have $1,500 total in it right now. Everyone from Eastern Europe, you can get one over here for $200, $300. I understand that, but there's only about 500 left in the country at this point, in the US, and no one's importing Yugos. It's not happening. So I understand. I know they're cheap over there. I'm not there. I'm here. And here, there's not a lot of them. Everyone tells you you're an idiot in the comments. It happens with my videos. With my 10,000 subscribers, 4 people will comment immediately, I can't believe you bought a Yugo. You can get one for $50 over here. I understand that, but I have to buy a whole nother car to get a water pump. Like, that's to the point we're at. Even though it's one of the worst cars, I won't say ever made, ever sold in America, I love the damn thing. I've always had a love for it. I will always keep it. I've had a couple people, offer me a substantial amount of money for it. And for a broke 23-year-old, it's really tempting, but honestly, I'm going to keep it for forever. I don't think, I'm hoping I can get my daughter into cars and she'll enjoy some of them. Maybe the graffitied Lexus I can send her to school with, the twin turbo 1JZ. Yeah. But I love the damn thing. It's one of my favorite cars of all time.
We'd like to thank Vincero Watches for supporting VINwiki this month. Vincero makes bold, stylish, and well-priced watches out of exceptional materials, and there's a link in the description below for a discount. So check out their website and find the watch that helps make the statement that you want the world to see.